Hey, given your application in AWS, Compute balances the workload across on demand, reserved, and spot instances, and multiple AZs and instance types to bring in deep savings on your EC2 spend. Compute is a dynamic, automated, and frictionless cloud management platform focusing on AWS alone. There are three broad optimization areas when it comes to EC2. First is instance optimization or optimizing by using spot instances and reserved instances. The second is performance optimization, which is avoiding over provisioning by right sizing of the instances. And the third is time based optimization or the ability to schedule and run your applications only when you need them. So, Compute is a unified single platform that does all these optimizations in a seamless and frictionless manner. I'll show a demo to highlight these features and some of the other critical features of the platform. What you see here is the dashboard of Compute. Compute is a SaaS platform, so you would have to create a tenant account with Compute. So this dashboard is the instance distribution dashboard. On the left is what we call as a savings meter, which says what is your overall savings compared to on-demand cost. And on the right is what we call as spodometer. It says what percentage of your instances are running as spot instances. These are all real data, by the way. So what you see here in terms of the spend is something that we have to pay AWS in this particular environment, which is about 800 odd dollars. While without Compute, we would have ended up spending 3,900 or overall savings of close to 3K. So this is the big picture that you get from the dashboard. The first thing that you would do with the platform is add your AWS account. So it's a very secure way. You don't have to share your access keys or secret key. You just launch the CloudFormation stack, which will take you to your management console. You create a role ARN, basically an IAM user role for Compute, and map the role ARN back here to establish the relationship. So once this is done, the next step would be to configure your application in Compute, which you can do through the App Store. So the App Store is nothing but a bunch of pre-built integrations with different AWS services and third-party services like Terraform and Jenkins. So with this app driven model, it's extremely easy for you to move your application to be managed by the Compute platform. So I'll take the example of an auto scaling group here. With this app, we are actually letting Compute manage an existing auto scaling group that is currently being managed directly on AWS. So when I select the account, Compute would automatically list all the auto scaling groups in this particular account. So on the right, you can also see the configuration information for this particular auto scaling group. So here we are going to be launching one instance to meet the desired capacity, and any scale up that happens, we would be launching three additional instances. Since the minimum on demand instance count is zero, all the instances that we launch would be spot instances. When it comes to spot instances, Compute uses a three-line defense mechanism. So the first line of defense is we use a lot of historical data and prediction modeling to identify the right spot instances with the in the right AZ with the right bidding strategy. So we tend to retain the spot instances that we provision. So that's the first line of defense, and all the spot bidding is all abstracted from the user. The second line of defense is even after we provision a spot instance, we continuously monitor it and see if the risk of an instance getting terminated is high. In case we sense a particular instance in the spot market is a high risk, we proactively swap this out. We bring in a different instance, which could be another spot instance or an on demand instance, and swap out the high risk instance. This swap in swap out is seamless, and there is no impact to the application. So that's the second line of defense. The third line of defense is the ability to define a minimum on-demand instance count. In this case, when we give this as 1, so we are guaranteed to have one of the instances as on-demand, while the remaining instances could be spot instances. So this ensures that you can actually use compute and bring spot into every layer of your application without having to worry about uptime or availability. So that is all it takes. You can just save it. You can schedule it or run it immediately. When you schedule, it would be started at a specific point in time that you define. When you run it now, immediately this auto scaling group would be managed by compute. So you can actually monitor a configured job from the job screen. So I'm just taking one of the jobs here. So this particular job has been running for 25-58 hours, and you can see that it has got a 75% savings. So the actual cost is about 200 odd dollars, while without compute we would have spent almost like $950. So you can see there are the other thing that we do compute does as a platform is avoid single point of failure. In this case, though this is running 100% spot, there is a 100% uptime for this application, and we also distribute this across multiple AZs so that there is no single point of failure. So this is the first level instance distribution savings that we spoke about. The second savings that compute provides is right sizing. In this case, we are actually analyze this application over a 2 week window for peaks, troughs, and averages across CPU, network, IOPS, and if the customer allows, also for memory, and analyze it and see if there is an opportunity to downsize or upsize. In this case, there is a recommendation to downsize from M4 extra large to R3 large, which can result in an additional savings of almost $100 per instance per month. So this is the second savings attribute, or the right sizing savings optimization that the platform provides. The third level of savings is the scheduler savings, where you can actually define based on tags. You can specify a particular instance or application to be all the applications with that QA tags. You would want them to shut down at a specific time and restart them at a specific point in time. And you can also add exceptions to the rule, so it's kind of comprehensive scheduling engine. Or you can also for each of the accounts you can individually create schedules for instances as well. So it's also possible to do it via tags or by selecting the instances and then applying a scheduling policy for that. So scheduling is the third optimization that the platform provides. And there are other apps other than auto scaling. So there is a Jenkins app with a single page configuration, very little information that is required, no IT heavy lifting. You can actually run a Jenkins node through this to be managed via compute. So these are the three broad areas of savings. We also have another feature called Zoom, wherein once you select an account, you can compute would automatically discover all the auto scaling groups and ECS clusters that are running in this account, and also predicts the potential savings for this application. And with a single click, you can actually move this to be managed by compute. So it's an extremely frictionless way in which you can actually move your application to the compute platform. So that's the Zoom feature that makes it even better and even easier to get started on the compute platform. That's kind of the real quick demo that I wanted to share. Please get started on the platform from join.compute.io and create your trial account and explore this. Thank you.